Hey, this was a really exciting day in the world of basketball. The Seattle Storm winning Game 1 of the WNBA Finals against Las Vegas.
So if you're wondering, the final score, drum roll, was 93-80. Q13's Frankie Thompson spoke to excited fans today as they cheer on their team.
Stewart, it has been working.
The way the Seattle Storm has been dominating the paint this season has fans ready to jump in the game with them.
I watch them and it makes me feel like, all right, let me go lace my shoes up. I want to play now, you know?
Quay Miller is a sophomore on the University of Washington's women's basketball team. The Pullman native says there's something special about cheering for her home team now in the WNBA Finals.
I'm just excited for everybody else to just really open their eyes up to what Storm can do. I already know people in Seattle know what we can do, but it's more than just our fan base. We wanna expand it so other people can see, really watch out for Seattle Storm.
Stewart to Whitcomb, who just checked into the game.
What they're doing off the court makes them champions already in the eyes of the UW Huskies head coach.
Raising awareness throughout the rest of the country of what they were doing for the social injustices of the world, and for Breonna Taylor and her family, and they're the ones that started it.
From social justice to philanthropy, the family of Jamie Rose Marin say the Storm are the real winners. The team partners with the Austin Everett Foundation, a local nonprofit that uses sports to support children battling cancer. The 17-year-old, diagnosed with a cancerous brain tumor, was one of 26 kids chosen this season as honorary Storm captains.
Them doing this at that time was perfect timing. So instead of having to focus on, waiting for the next MRI, she was able to focus on watching the girls play and knowing that there's people out there that is rooting for her to continue to have a strong fight.
A strong fight Jamie's mom says the Storm can weather. And they had the whole city cheering them on to victory.
Seeing that flag go up today on the Space Needle and the lights turn green and gold, this city can really use some positive media, and there's no better way than having the Storm bring home a championship again.
Good stuff. Coming up in our 9 o'clock hour, Ian Furness has some of the highlights from tonight's win. The Storm will face the Aces again this Sunday at noon for Game 2.
Well, after we cleared out that air, we have noticed the haze, Tim, moving back in, especially in some areas.
Yeah, and it's going to be with us again tomorrow if we really start to scour out the atmosphere a little bit more. But yeah, it was a fantastic October day despite some of the haze, and the air quality remained mostly between good and moderate, with only a couple pockets seeing the unhealthy for sensitive groups. But again, for not doing too bad considering how bad it was earlier in September. Temperatures now around the region slipping down from the nice 60s into the more seasonal 50s for some overnight lows for us. And we are tracking the clouds from the coast working their way inland as we get overnight lows, so waking up to some clouds and some fog for your Saturday morning. But Saturday afternoon still looking pretty pleasant overall. As you look at what's going on in the atmosphere, we do see this big ridge of high pressure. It's kept the smoke with us, kind of lingering. That ridge of high pressure is shifting slightly to the east, and so with it, we'll see a little bit of a change in the winds, which might mean a little southerly flow briefly, bringing in just a couple bits of some more wildfire smoke in from Oregon and California, mostly at the higher levels of the atmosphere. And then this weak front kind of moves through as we get into the forecast, as we get into Sunday, not bringing a whole lot of precipitation, maybe some pockets of drizzle, but otherwise, as we look towards how things shape up in our futurecast models, notice by tomorrow morning around 7 a.m. when the news starts on our sister station Joe TV, we do see most of the Puget Sound lowlands kind of full up with the layer of fog. Getting in the mountains, you'll be above that layer. As we get into Saturday afternoon, it kind of retreats back a little bit towards the coast with some limited clearing, and then it rolls back in again on Sunday. So pause the clock there at 7 a.m. And you notice maybe a little bit of drips and drizzle here and there, but notice most of the bulk of that front moves up towards the north. So we pretty much stay dry on Sunday, but notice the clouds don't really retreat necessarily getting into the afternoon. And then even as you get towards Sunday at 8 p.m., still a little bit of sprinkles here and there. And every single drop of rain does do beneficial things for the smoke in the air. It kind of pulls those smoke particles out of the air and then brings them down towards the ground. But overall, if you're going to be on the water this weekend, looking a little more cloudy on Sunday versus Saturday with southerly winds coming on in, and a little cooler as we get into Sunday. Brighter conditions come back into play as we get into Monday. We'll talk more about that 7-day forecast coming up in just a couple minutes.
Hey, we are tracking breaking news right now. Reports of 2 shootings in the city of Seattle. Let's go through them one at a time. The first, police officers in Seattle fire on the scene in the 8700 block of Seward Park Avenue South. We know there is 1 victim with life-threatening injuries there. So this is just south of Seward Park, right near Pritchard Island Beach Park, if you know the area. We're working to get more information on that shooting. Okay, with that said, let's go to the second. This one happening in the 9700 block of 59th Avenue South in the Rainier Beach area. In that shooting, we know at least 1 person was grazed by a round, found at the scene. Officers responding to Valley Medical Center for 3 additional people who are reported to have gunshots as well. We have a crew working to learn more about both of these breaking news situations. Crew on the way, and as soon as we learn more, we'll pass that along to you. Hannah?
Okay, moving on. The coronavirus impacts everyone differently, but we know that even mild cases can have lasting effects in some people.
A day hasn't gone by I haven't thought about, the experience, what it means to survive.
Up next, we are hearing from a man who lived to share his story of beating COVID-19.